The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Scott Earhart here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Before I say anything else, I do want to thank you all very, very much for taking the time to join us here this morning. I think that you are going to find what you see today very valuable, very intriguing, and for lack of a better term, hot off the presses. We are going to go through Athene's new Agility product, which launched yesterday fully, I believe. So really excited that Athene was kind enough to give us some time to go through it this early in the process. In order to take a deep dive into it, we have our relationship manager with Athene on the line with us, Mr. Mac Campbell. Mac, can you hear me?
Thanks, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for the time. I know it's super busy over at Athene right now, especially with this new launch. So thank you very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. I'm going to go through a few introductory slides before we hand it over to Mac. But before I do that, I do want to hit a couple of housekeeping items real quick here. First thing that I'll touch on, and probably the most important thing you'll hear out of my mouth today, is our phone number in the top right-hand corner of your screen. That number is 800-255-5055. If there is anything that you see today that you'd like more details on, please don't hesitate to give a call. Or if there's anything we can be doing here at IAMS to help you in the life, annuity, or wealth management arenas, please give us a call. We'd absolutely love the opportunity to be speaking with you. Second housekeeping item, I'm going to launch a couple of polling questions throughout the presentation today. If you would please be kind enough to just click yes or no on those polling questions. We certainly do appreciate everyone's participation there. Really helps us understand what we can be doing more for you. So we do appreciate participation there. And then final housekeeping question, or comment, I guess, are questions. There's a questions box on your screen. I've done several presentations with Mac over the years, and I can tell you there's probably not a more transparent wholesaler in the industry than Mac, and probably not a more transparent company in the industry than Athene. So if you have questions, type them in at the end of the session. We'll do the best we can to get them answered while we are live here. So don't hesitate. Any questions you have, get them in there. We will get them answered at the end of the presentation. That being said, let me get into a few introductory slides here, and then we'll hand it over to Mr. Campbell. First thing I want to talk about is the business builders that we offer to you here at IAMS, and I'll start with our referred producer program. Our business here on the wholesale desk is very, very similar to yours out there in the field, in that some of the best leads we're ever going to get are referrals from our clients or you, our valued producers. So we want to make it worth your while to refer individuals over to us. When you refer an advisor over to us and they pick up any license through IAMS, we're going to send you a $50 thank you check. Just, thank you for connecting us with that person. And then as the relationship builds is where the real money comes in. As your referred producer writes business, we're going to give you a 20 basis point override on that business. Steve and Charles, our ownership group, cut those checks at least quarterly. They do sign checks for thousands and thousands of dollars at a time, so it can be very, very lucrative for you as well. With that in mind, if there is an advisor that you think could benefit from doing business with us here at IAMS, please feel free to email me their contact information, scott@imsinc.com, or if you'd like to type it into the questions box, feel free to do so as well. Certainly we'll do the best we can to get them recruited over here and hopefully get you on your way to earning some referred producer dollars. Below that is the marketing reimbursement program that we offer. This is a great way for us to partner with you and show you how much we do appreciate you writing your business here at IAMS. Rough numbers on that are for every $100,000 in premium you place with IAMS, we're going to put $100 into your marketing reimbursement account. Marketing reimbursement, very, very simple process. We consider it to be your money. So any business expense, marketing expense that you have, all you have to do is send us a receipt. We'll cut you out a check, hopefully same day, to help you offset that cost. If you'd like to know how much is currently in your reimbursement account, or if you'd like to learn more details about the program, please let me know. New producer builders. So this is going to be geared towards anybody that is new to us here at IAMS, or if this is your first introduction to who we are here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services, you are eligible for this program. This is all based upon production within your first 180 days of being licensed with us here at IAMS. And as you can see, there are 3 levels that you can qualify at. And inside of each level are some great options for you. Cash rewards, business building tools, personal perks, all available to you there at IAMS. So if you'd like to know where you stand on new producer, if you'd like me to get you out some more detailed information on it, I'd certainly love to do that. Just let me know. Oop. There we go. Back office support. This is the heart of who we are here at IAMS. A lot of times I know being independent in our industry can feel pretty lonely. It's our goal to make sure that you are never alone. We are here to support you and support your business efforts. And we do that with just a ton of business building tools and resources that we have available to you. Case design assistance. That's what we're here for on the marketing staff, is to help you. If you have a case that you're not sure where to take it, or maybe it's a multi-prong case, some life, some annuity, some AUM, all rolled into one, we can help you with that, and we can do it all within one phone conversation. Forms at your fingertips. 2 ways to get forms at your fingertips through IAMS. Either dial 800-255-5055. We'll get you everything you need right away. Or at IAMSinc.com, we do have many, many forms available to you. Submission to commission support. I love this department. Amber Williams heads up our new business department for both life and annuities. And I can tell you, we will scrub apps, we will submit apps, we will upload apps, we will track your apps for you. We are going to take so much of your post-submission work off of your plate, do it all on your behalf, and help you get commissioned that much faster. What I'll tell you is this. If you have not submitted business to Insurance Agency Marketing Services, I'd ask you to submit one piece of business, whether it's life or annuity, through our office, and see how little you have to do once you submit, and see how much quicker you will be commissioned because of the efforts of the new business team. They're very, very good at what they do, and we're super lucky to have them here. And I hope that you'll give us a chance to experience that workflow. Life and annuity quotes goes right back into case design assistance. I'm going to put a little stamp or an asterisk on life and annuity quotes here, and I'm going to tell you we've got something called our 24-hour guarantee here, and that might be stretching it. I'd like to call it our same-day guarantee. If you request a life or an annuity quote, we're going to get that back out to you same day, if not within 24 hours. I hate it when I have advisors that have done business elsewhere that call me and tell me the horror stories about they called up, they left a voicemail, 3 days later they got an illustration that was incorrect. That's not the way we do business here. The way that we do business here is we don't get paid until you get paid. Therefore, if we're getting you the tools you need to make sales, all the better for everybody involved. Top sales experience or expertise in coaching. We do have multiple sales coaches throughout the country. I'll touch on that in a little bit, but they are here to help you. We can pair you up with them. We can show you what they're doing. Certainly, a little coaching in anything we do in life doesn't hurt, especially in our business. So we can certainly connect you there. And then paperless contracting. We are on the Efficient Forms platform. We will take away all the pain of you having to fill out licensing agreements for every company you want. We're going to ask you to do it once. We're going to get you uploaded onto the Efficient Forms platform. Next time you need to add a carrier, all you have to do is give me a call, say, Scott, add Athene on for me. I'll have Chris click a button, and boom, the process is moving along. No more filling out licensing agreements. It's a great way to save time and be more efficient. Creative marketing solutions. We do have an in-house creative team here that is solely here to help our advisors brand and market themselves. And we can do that with a ton of turnkey solutions that we can just add your information to, your logo, handouts, flyers, postcards, all available here. We do have full agency solutions for you. So we're going to help you with business cards, logo design, stationery. We can set you up with some advertising of the actual agency if you'd like to. And then what I think is really pushing our industry right now, we've got great digital solutions, websites, email consulting, online newsletters, social media consulting, all available to you here at IAMS, all in-house here at IAMS. So it's a great way to really get your brand out there, get your brand recognition up, and ultimately increase your bottom line through those efforts. IAMS website, if you haven't been out to IAMSinc.com, I'd ask you to do so. Please register there. All we need is an email address, and you create your own password. You're going to get access to a ton of stuff, quote engines, forms online, news grids, product grids, industry links, webinars, recorded webinars, all available to you there. Ton of great stuff. So if you haven't taken advantage of IAMSinc.com, please do so. Retirement Analyzer. Retirement Analyzer is something that I put it this way. If you are not using some type of software to document your workflow process with a client, how you make decisions on the recommendations you make, I'd tell you to start. It's something that's not only good for you and your business, but it's something that really helps clients understand what it is we're doing when we're making sales of fixed products or life products, things of that nature. And the Retirement Analyzer, in my opinion, is the best program that I've seen. It's really holistic. It will allow you to take a very detailed view on what the client's situation currently is, and then very simply show the client how much better off their retirement situation would be because they choose to do business with you, implement the products or the solutions that you are recommending to the clients. Retirement Analyzer, there's a 90-day free trial on it that we have available. So if you'd like to take a look at it, please give Marcus Solar in our office a call. He's kind of our point man. He knows the program inside and out. He can walk you through it. He can help you implement it in your practice. And really, it's just a great sales tool. It's going to show your clients why you're making the proper recommendations and reinforce their decision to do business with you. So great sales tool there. I'd tell you to take advantage of the Retirement Analyzer if you would like to. IAMS Wealth Management. This is our newest endeavor, for lack of a better term, here at IAMS. And as I talk about IAMS Wealth Management, I'm going to launch our first poll in question of the day. So if you would please click yes or no in that. Certainly do appreciate it. A little over a year ago, we launched IAMS Wealth, and we launched IAMS Wealth with the idea of being a complement to the IMO business. We wanted to help our advisors be able to help their clients more by adding assets under management. So we designed it in the same ilk that insurance agency marketing services was designed. We are an advisor-friendly, service-based model there. You're going to experience everything you experience at IAMS, you will experience at IAMS Wealth. We will answer the phone. We'll be there to help you. We've got onboarding specialists. We've got case design specialists. A lot of great things there. So we designed it in that fashion. We've had a lot of really good success with it. So if you are an insurance advisor and you're looking to expand your practice and you want to do it with, for lack of a better term, a friendly RIA, I'd tell you to give Mike Hansen, our onboarding specialist at IAMS Wealth, a call. We've got some great study partners. We can help you to pass the 65 and get that license under your belt. And what you'll realize when you pass the 65 or add managed money in there is it's going to increase your revenue. Obviously, a new line of business for you. It's going to improve your client retention in that you're not going to be competing against other advisors, other fiduciary advisors for the client's money. You'll be able to provide all of that to your clients. And then obviously it's going to strengthen your client relationships with the existing clients that you have because, again, you're just doing more for them. You're being able to offer them more. Now, I don't want to move on until I hit on the existing IARs. If you are a Series 65 licensed individual, I'd tell you to give Mike a call as well. I think you'll be really impressed with what we've done and what we've built over there, with the platform that we offer, the technology package that is available there, and also the fee structure. We are very, very competitive across the board. Really, really solid value proposition there. So if you are currently aligned with an RIA, please give Mike a call, give the tires a kick. We'd love to show you what it is we can do there. That being said, I'm going to move on from this polling question. So if you haven't taken the time to click yes or no, if you would please do so. Certainly appreciate everyone's participation there. Thank you, everyone. And I hate to do it, but I'm going to launch 2 back-to-back polls. I'm going to launch the second one here, asking you if you'd like more information about one of our upcoming life and annuity academies. IAMS hosts 3 to 5 live trainings a year, either with some of our partner carriers like Athene or here at our home office in Omaha. And it's really all about showing our advisors what is available to you, helping you come away with new sales ideas and concepts, giving you the ability to network with other top advisors in the industry to walk away with ideas. It is all expenses paid. Normally, we try to plan these on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to minimize your time out of the office. And it's just a great sales and marketing experience for you. Every time we've ever hosted one, and I've been hosting them for 8 years now here with IAMS, I always walk away with amazing feedback from the advisors. I learned about this. I'm going to implement this in my product. No, I want to try that type of marketing. It gives you things to walk away with to help you grow your business. I do not have dates on our next academy as of yet. I do expect we will be announcing those very, very shortly. So we have opened up application period. So if it's of interest to you, please click yes. And since I have Mac on the line, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask Mac for anything he'd like to add onto that. Mac and Athene have been a great partner to us with many of our academies. I'm sure we'll be partnering on many in the future. So Mac, anything you'd like to add about the Life and Annuity Academy?
Yeah, sure, Scott. Thanks for the opportunity to talk on this subject. So yeah, as you said, we've been fortunate to partner with you guys on many of these agent academies in the past, and again, we'll in the future as well, for sure. From my perspective, being someone who works for a carrier, it's great to meet and chat with producers. I've been doing this a long time, and what I love about the business is no matter where you're from, there's a lot of different ways. Everyone has a different story, so there's a lot of different ways to succeed in this business. And while it's great to certainly share some podium time with the great folks at IAMS and kind of tell you the Athene story, as someone who attends, as one of the producers that attends the event, I can tell you get just as much, if not more, from one another than you would from even the carrier personnel that attend. Because there is a lot of different ways to do this and do it right and be successful at it. Sharing your story with others and having others share theirs with you is, I think, just an invaluable opportunity. So if you've not attended one of these events, please consider it and click yes on this poll. And you'll definitely, it's one of the most worthwhile things you can do with your time. So Scott, with that, I'll turn it back to you.
I appreciate the kind words and the support as always, Mac. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and close down this poll. So if you haven't taken the time to click yes or no on that, certainly we would appreciate your participation there. All right. Thank you, everyone. Last slide before I hand it over to Mac. IAMS Marketing Summit 2019. We are going to be down in Naples, Florida at the Ritz-Carlton. That is an actual picture of the building. The grounds are amazing. Really, if you're a golfer, the golf courses we're going to be playing are going to be fantastic. The beaches are beautiful. The shopping is fantastic. The spa is unreal. So I'd tell you, let's if this is something I would put on the calendar if I were you, and if you want to have a conversation about what we can do to get you eligible with the 3 million trip credits that are needed, certainly there's plenty of time, over a year to go in the qualification period. We want you there. Love to make this one the largest that we've had. So yeah, that's the story. If you have any questions about the IAMS Marketing Summit coming up in 2019, let me know. That being said, I am going to give control over to Mac, and we should be getting into the meat and potatoes of today's presentation.
Great. Scott, thanks again for kicking us off in fine fashion and for that introduction. If you would, just before we get started with the next portion here, if you could just verify that you can hear me okay, you can see the slide in front of you?
Yep, I can hear you, and I can see the agility slide.
Okay, great. Well, again, thanks, Scott. Great partners at IAMS, and again, for all of you joining us on the phone or your computer, appreciate the time you're spending with us today. We'll take about the next, call it 20 minutes to go through the prepared content. At the most, this is a pretty straightforward slideshow, I guess. Definitely want to take any questions at the end, so certainly chat them into Scott, and we'll address as many as we can with the time we have allotted here today. I'm really excited about this product launch. I know that's, I don't know why a carrier rep wouldn't be excited for a product launch, I guess. Now that I say that out loud, it sounds kind of silly, but to me, if you're familiar with our company and the products that we sell, you know that we have a whole host of annuity products. All we do is annuities, for those that aren't familiar with us. And we have annuities that fit accumulation needs, income needs, and to me, the Athene Agility launch that we had just yesterday really completes the portfolio in a fine way. And we're going to spend a little time talking about how I think it completes the portfolio, and also we'll give you the mechanics of the product as well. It's got some very unique features that are truly industry leading. So again, what we try to do at Athene is develop, price, and distribute products, annuity products, better than most, if not all the carriers in the marketplace. And I think if you're looking for accumulation or shorter-term income needs, we've got products for you that are different than the one we're going to talk about today. But we're at or near the top competitively in almost every scenario. So give us a look and call the folks at IAMS. They've got all the tools at their disposal to tell the Athene story just as well, if not better than I can. With that said, let's kind of get into what the agility looks like and kind of what are the needs that fits for customers. Three primary areas we'll discuss today, and really this is sort of a longer term income play, or really a great legacy play as well for customers that are wanting to build a legacy and that potentially might need income down the road. So we've got a very strong benefit-based growth opportunity to talk about today. And really, it builds clients a strong foundation, not only as they enter retirement, but continues to grow through retirement as well, which is very valuable, I think, to a lot of people. If you know me well at all, or you know me at all, I guess, you know that I tend to talk a little bit about inflation from time to time, and we've been trending below the 100-year average, which is just over 3%, by the way, for the last 2 decades. And, we're starting to see some uptick in interest rates, inflation as well. And, I think we could see more of that. I think the Fed has signaled they're going to continue to rise rates or increase rates rather down the road here. And, I'm not telling you this suggesting that we're going to be in an inflationary period here in the near term, but, if we're looking at a client's life expectancy, if we've got a 50, a 60, or a 65-year-old individual, they're going to live to 80, 85, 90 or beyond. And I can't sit here and tell you that inflation won't happen in a more powerful way down the road, certainly over 20 or 30 years. I think that it definitely will occur. And this is a product that will get them through those times, which is very important. We'll talk about that in a few moments. We also have an enhanced income here, which, again, if you're familiar with Athene, you'll know that we were one of the first companies as part of our Viva heritage to have a confinement doubler, if you will, for when that need arises. We're going to carry that over on this product as well. And then a very unique death benefit. When you see how strong the benefit base truly does build for clients, this is a really meaningful value. And when I tell you what the cost is, I think it really, really will resonate with all of you. And then some additional features and, of course, some sales material, which we can cover as well. So with that, let's get into the benefit base. I mean, again, this is all about the benefit base and how it grows and how it accrues for clients. And I'll give you an example of a $100,000 annuity. When a client gives $100,000 to Athene in the Agility product, right out of the gate, we apply a 25% benefit-based bonus, again, for income down the road or death benefit. And we'll talk about each of those in a few moments. So said another way, that $100,000 on day one turns into $125,000 for income and death benefit purposes, which I think is very powerful. One of the highest initial benefit bases in the industry today, if not the highest. From there, we're going to take any indexed growth that occurs in a given year, and we're going to basically apply 175% participation, if you will, or a growth percentage to that growth. And that's how we're going to grow that benefit base each and every year. So notice, this is not a guaranteed kind of a rider. This is more of a growth-oriented benefit base and product for that matter. If you've got clients that are needing guaranteed income, we have a product for you. It's a different story, and we can talk about that during another session. But for the purposes of sort of your growth-oriented clients or those that have more time in front of them, I think this is a heck of a sale for you to make, and of course for them to buy. So we'll give you a numerical example. Again, $100,000 goes into the contract on day one. We increase that benefit base to 125. Now, again, just to kind of illustrate how we increase it on an annual basis, if the client earns 4% in that year, in year one, and we know that 4% on 100, which again is their accumulated value, notice that 25%, that's not a premium bonus. That's a benefit-based bonus, so that's separate. So we're going to grow their $100,000 by 4%. So, of course, that goes up to 104. We're going to take the dollar amount of that growth. So in this case, it's $4,000. Multiply it by 175%. And we're going to add, in this case, $7,000 to that benefit base at the end of the year. So that 125 then grows to 132. So in this example, they've effectively increased their legacy or their income account value by 32% in 1 year. Again, $100,000 initial deposit. You take the bonus, add any growth, in this case 4%, you get $132,000. So again, if we talk about a death benefit, which we'll talk about more in a minute, there's no underwriting here. So this is a powerful benefit for people that may not qualify for life insurance as well. I mentioned this is a growth-oriented product. Again, if you're familiar at all with Athene and our indexing strategies, we have some of the best, if not the best, in the business. Certainly some of the most diverse. And I think that's very important when you're selling any indexed annuity, whether it's the Agility, one of our different ones, or frankly, anyone else in the business as well. Make sure you're looking at a product that gives your clients options. And here we've kind of segmented some of our strategies in this product by sort of their asset class allocation. So we've got large cap US equity exposure, we've got balanced type indices, growth and income indices, and of course we have fixed accounts as well. And I'll give you the rates in a few moments here. Last year, 2017, I think was a banner year for indexed annuities. And look, the S&P did fantastic as well. It did about 20%. Last year, just to give you some perspective, there were 7 uncapped strategies that did better than the S&P 500 on a gross basis. Athene had half of them, including the top 2. Number 1 being the Janus Market Consensus Index you see up there. So we've got great strategies that work when the market is up, and we've got great strategies that work when the market perhaps is more volatile like it is now. Again, talk to the folks at IAMS, what's right for your client. I'm a big believer as well in making sure, A, you have options like we discussed, but B, that you give your client different exposures. I don't think it makes sense to put all your clients' money in one of these strategies potentially. It might for some, but for the vast majority of people we're working with, I think it makes sense to mix and match and have the ability to move in and out of these strategies, at least on anniversary. So let's get to the rates. I won't spend a ton of time here. I will just kind of highlight a couple of examples. Again, I mentioned that Janus strategy that is one of our most popular strategies. And really, the BNP is our second most popular strategy. And you can see the rates very competitive. Again, that Janus strategy, we have 1 year and 2 year designs of each of those. And you'll find that in our really across the board with us. When we develop an index or when we partner with a reputable investment bank to help develop an index for us, we try to give different varieties. So we have a 1 year or 2 year, and more often than not, the reason we will like a 2 year strategy is because the longer you go when you're purchasing options to back up a strategy for growth, the cheaper those options are. So we can typically provide better participation rates and caps and spreads for a longer strategy. So again, with that said, while I love the pricing of a 2 year strategy, I don't always like the fact you got to wait 2 years to see anything, which again is why we have 1 year versions of each of these as well. So very competitive rates. So again, giving your client a great opportunity to really enhance that benefit base for when they need it most. So I'm going to talk more about this slide. Don't focus on the charts. I don't love this slide, to be perfectly honest. Scott, you mentioned I'm transparent. There you go. I don't love this slide because I think the fine print you see at the bottom is really the most important part. I don't know why we don't put that in bold. These are our payout percentages. Again, what we try to do at Athene is be very flexible when we talk about our payout percentages for income. And you'll see that what this chart implies is that we bracket these by 5 or 10 year increments. The reality is we don't do that. From ages 55 to 65, the payout percentage increases annually 20 basis points each year. A lot of carriers will bracket their payout percentages by 5 year increments or even 10 year I've seen. We actually increase from 55 to 65, 20 bips a year. And even from 65 all the way to 80, we still increase our payout percentages by 10 bips each year. So each year your client ages, they have potential to get more money when they start that income. So again, that's the takeaway I want you to have there. We increase on an annual basis either 20 or 10 basis points, where most other carriers actually bracket their increases. So when we talk about the income phase, so one thing I want to point out, I mentioned at the beginning, this is a longer term income play. And by that I mean the client is not eligible to receive income as part of the benefit base for 10 years on the 10 year version of this product. So again, it's clearly for a younger person or someone with more time in front of them in terms of their income needs, but the client is not able to access their income on this product until after the 10th year. Again, if you have clients that need income before that, we've got competitive product solutions for you as well that are separate than this. But from an income perspective, again, this is a 10-year wait. Again, the way the income phase works, an example here, if we have $10,000 a year that we are triggering now in income, this is really, again, I mentioned it's a growth story in deferral. It also is a growth story during the income phase as well. So this will increase each year that there is positive growth in the index. I mentioned that benefit base that increases 175% as well. That continues to go up even in the income phase, which is very powerful and really makes for potentially huge increases each and every year for client when the index actually performs. They're effectively getting two ways to grow their money. On an annual basis, their payment will grow by the amount of the index. So if they earn 4%, like in our last example, that 10,000 will be 10,400. But that same 4%, we're going to apply 175% of that to the actual benefit base still. So that means next year they're going to earn even more money on an annual basis, which is, again, hugely powerful. And when you illustrate this using the strategies we have, I think it really sells itself. You know, illustrations aren't fun to look at, but this is one of those sales, I think, that will be made really on the illustration when you can see the potential that exists to really grow that benefit base, continue to grow the income during retirement as well. And, you know, what's really important to most people as they near retirement or certainly in retirement, you know, my dad is 75 and he's always talking to me about this, is just the cost of healthcare. You know, we mentioned inflation at the beginning of our time together here. And, you know, what we often see is that the rate of inflation in the healthcare business is typically a lot higher, double, triple what the normal inflation rate is. And this is the kind of contract that's going to continue to grow and help offset those costs. Now, I mentioned there's an enhanced, or rather a enhanced income benefit in addition to the increasing income we've been discussing. If your client is confined to a qualified care facility for 6 months over a 250-day period of time, we will double their income they're receiving until their accumulated value goes to zero. Now, there's a key difference on this part here of the rider that is different than the rest of our doublers in the portfolio. The rest of the double riders we have in the portfolio for confinement will stay at that level until the value goes to zero or a cap of 5 years. We remove the cap of 5 years on this product. More often than not, I think it'll probably last 3, 4, 5 years, but it's possible that it could double even beyond that. Once it does go to zero, it'll just go back to what it was before. So they still get income, it's just not that doubled rate. Again, here's where I think it really makes a ton of sense for a lot of folks out there. This is, I think, a fantastic growth legacy product. Now, again, let's talk about what we discussed already. That initial $100,000 right out of the gate goes to $125,000. So if the client passes away day 2, they have a choice to get the accumulated value in a lump sum or the entire benefit base over a 5-year period. So you can see how this could really, when I kind of highlighted how this thing can grow based on the great indices that we have and how we apply 175% every single year to the benefit base of that growth, this creates a really, truly meaningful legacy to a lot of people. And again, it really illustrates well. In terms of where we're approved, great news, we're virtually nationwide. New York and Oregon are the only 2 states right now where we are not approved. We're hoping to get in Oregon. We think we will. New York, we haven't really filed this yet. That's a different animal altogether. In terms of some of the, again, additional mechanics, it's a 1010 compliant product. We can receive minimum premiums as low as $10,000, sometimes even lower than that if you're in one of those other states listed there. The maximum there says $1 million. I can tell you that we will likely take up to $2 million at full comp. So if you have large jumbo cases over $1 million, we can take them. We just ask that you complete a quick questionnaire. Your client does not have to sign it. We just want you to tell us a little bit about the business, really. One of the, I think, most important parts to the rider, I mentioned the cost of the rider at the beginning. There is none. This is a free rider. You know, the word rider to me implies that it's optional. It's not. This is built into the product. All the great growth opportunity that we've just discussed for the benefit base for income and for legacy is 100% free of charge to the client. There's no baked in cost to that. So they're not going to get a fee. They're not going to see it. You know, if the index is 0 for a particular year, there's no fee that's going to reduce the value. This is automatically included for every client that buys one of these products at no charge. So it's a great free rider story, a great long-term income story, and certainly a fantastic, really immediate legacy product as well that continues to grow as the client ages. So, you know, we've got some brochures we can share with you, and the folks at IAMS can get these for you. All of the information that we're talking about and seeing today is available on our agent website as well. That healthcare sales idea, we kind of tagline that, you know, inflation won't retire when you do sort of sales concept, you know, how you're going to hedge that. We have a great one-pager approved for clients to talk about how the agility can help you pay for some of those needs in retirement. You're looking at a screenshot of it there. We can get you copies of that as well. So again, just a quick summary. One of the strongest benefit bases in the business today, 25% immediate bonus coupled with many diverse growth-oriented index options with the ability to even continue to grow the benefit base, even if they're taking income down the road as well, which is very powerful. That enhanced income benefit as well, and of course that great death benefit where the entire base is available over 5 years, or again, that lump sum option as well, for really when that unexpected happens. And then again, the additional features, and this is one that I have not mentioned yet, but is very, very unique. There might be only one other product in the business that does this when it comes to liquidity. Most indexed annuities out there have some sort of liquidity measure, whether it's 10% free after a year, or, you know, we've got a lot of great liquidity products at Athene as well that even do better than that with return of premium involvement. This is a little more unique. The client has the ability to take 10% of the higher of their accumulated value or the initial premium starting day one. Now, I say that is pretty unique. And we've got some advisors using this product. They're not even using it to take advantage of the rider, believe it or not. They're using it as sort of a segment in a bucket retirement plan strategy. So if there's any advisors on the phone that have used this, I'm just going to very generally simplify it for you real quick, and then Scott, I'll turn it back over to you. When I say a bucket strategy, if you're planning for a client's retirement, typically there's different pockets of money you're going to use for different periods of time, right? For immediate income needs, usually you're going to use some sort of money market instrument, fixed income, or cash equivalent. Then there's another bucket of money that you'll access down the road that's used for income, more maybe intermediate income needs, and you can use some sort of annuity. Indexed annuities fit great in that bucket two. In the bucket three, if you've got the ability to sell equities, typically you're going to use some sort of variable product or equity-based portfolio to really grow for the client. We have a lot of advisors using this product for that second segment or that second bucket. And what they do is they take advantage of that 10% withdrawal feature on the initial premium because it ensures a level rate of withdrawal each and every year. If the product only gives you the opportunity to have 10% on the accumulated value, what's going to occur, because you're decreasing that account by 10% every year, each subsequent year is going to have a lower income or a lower withdrawal because the balance is getting lower. It's just simple math. Having the ability to use that 10%, up to 10%, based on the initial premium each and every year ensures that your client's going to get the same withdrawal each and every year free of charge. So it's a great way to integrate some level income planning without even using the rider. And frankly, you could use this partial withdrawal feature for the first few years, letting the benefit base continue to grow on what's left, and then trigger income down the road as well. So just so you're aware, any withdrawals you do take affect the benefit base on a pro rata basis. So Scott, that's all the prepared remarks that I have for everyone today. I'll turn it back over to you, and I'm absolutely happy to take any questions you have about the product, about the portfolio, the performance, Athene, and we'll go from there.
Hey, appreciate it as always, Mac. Fantastic job. So excited about this new contract. I think we're going to be able to place a lot of business there. I think advisors are really going to be able to position this well. Before I do get into the questions, we had some nice questions come in. I do want to remind everybody, feel free to type them in. We've still got a little bit of time left on session, so Mac or I will be more than happy to answer anything that you have. Before I do pose a couple questions that I have already to Mac, I'm going to launch our final poll of the day. This poll, I'd like to change it around a little bit. It's going to ask you if you'd like contracting information on Athene. I've gone through the group. I know several of you are licensed with Athene. So if you click yes, and you are not licensed with Athene, we're going to get you out contracting information. We're going to get that in front of you so you can get this great product added into your portfolio. However, if you are contracted with Athene already through IAMS, click yes. Anyway, and I'll get you out the agility information so you can see this. Or, of course, feel free to give me a call once we're off the webinar here, and we'll get that stuff out to you. So, poll is live now. Mac had a couple of questions come in. Hopefully, we'll have a few more come in. First one came in from somebody that I know writes a lot of business with you, and he's asking about state variations. How is the product filed? Is he going to have to find 5 different disclosures, or are we filed the same product across the board?
Yeah, good question. So there are a few state variations, not as many as we have seen with other parts in our portfolio. We can show you the rate sheet. You can get that online. But there is a different surrender charge, for example, in the state of California. It's slightly lower. We do have different versions. The premium, the minimum premium is different in probably 6 or 7 states. The typical states, like Pennsylvania, Texas, and New Jersey, Oregon, ultimately we'll get it there. Washington, states like that, you can expect will have their own version. But by and large, there's not that many versions of this relative to the other products we have.
Fair enough. And in those states where we do have the different variations, the minimum premium, or California, as you pointed out, with the different surrender charge, is the product still the same, or do we have product variation?
No, yeah, I'm sorry, that's a good distinction. So the products are going to be the same. I mean, the issue ages will be the same, 40 to 80. The rider specifications will be the same. There are, again, there's a few exceptions. I think 5 states where the only material change that I'm aware of to the product or rider combination is that there is a cap on how much the benefit base can grow. I believe it's 250% of the initial premium. So again, that's state mandated in those states. And again, all that information is online on the website as well. But generally speaking, nationwide, all this growth potential that I've been talking about, there's no cap to that, which is huge. Because, I mean, I've seen some illustrations where we've got a 60-year-old individual starting out with $100,000 and the benefit base grows by a factor of 3 or 4, up through age 85 or 90. So it's pretty powerful. But again, there's a few states that do cap it at 250%.
Good. Very strong product. Next question that came in, are we RMD friendly on this product?
Yeah, so that can mean a lot of different things, depending on what you're selling, I guess, even with Athene. To me, RMD friendly means that there's no charges, surrender charges that would be applied, and that is the case. I will say that, again, any withdrawal from the contract, whether it's qualified money or not, will reduce the benefit base on a pro rata basis. So keep that in mind. But in terms of surrender charges, yes, it's an RMD friendly product.
Fantastic. And then I saved the best one for last, Mr. Campbell, and I'm going to let you choose to go at this however you would like to go at this. Can you give us some inclination on how the suitability team is viewing that 25% bonus on the benefit base only?
Yeah, no, yes. So I will go at it as best I can, but recognize that I'm not in suitability, but I've been around the block enough to kind of know, what we like and don't like. And, so here's what I think I'm hearing in that question is, is this and I think it's an important question because this is a different product than we've had in our portfolio. One thing I mentioned at the beginning is that bonus is benefit-based bonus. That is not a premium bonus. So if you've got a policy or you're replacing a contract that has surrender charges that are coming out of it, this may not be the best fit for that. More often than not, you need at least some sort of premium bonus on the front end to offset any charges that the client gets on the back end of what they're coming out of. We're generally comfortable we'll take, you call it a 2 or so % net loss, even, in those situations. But again, if your client's losing 5, 6, 7% coming out of an annuity, this may not be a fit. We do have other premium bonus products that will accommodate that kind of business. This might not work that way. Because again, the benefit-based bonus is just that. It's essentially an account that the client can utilize for income down the road and death benefit only. It's not actual cash value. I will give you one other sort of tip, I guess, while we're on the topic of suitability. And one thing that is very prevalent these days with any carrier is, as you likely know, there's a lot of exchanging that's happening from company to company on any given day. And, years ago, and even today to a lesser extent, but certainly, 5, 6, 8 years ago, a lot of indexed annuities were sold, a lot of annuities in general, VAs included, were sold with income riders. And not every client maybe needed that income rider. So we're seeing a lot of replacements happening these days where a client is taking one income rider and replacing it with another. And generally speaking, at Athene, if you're going to do that, we need to make sure that the guaranteed income we provide the client beats the product that they're in already. Now, I mentioned guaranteed income. One thing I didn't mention here is that there's guaranteed income on the agility. So what I would suggest you do is, just kind of make sure the client's aware that, hey, this is a free benefit-based rider. at no cost, really for legacy planning and income in case you need it. If you know a client needs income in year 7, for instance, this is not the product that's going to work in that kind of replacement scenario. You're going to need to look at a guaranteed product that we have on the portfolio. So I don't want to muddle the waters too much. Certainly call the folks at IAMS. They can talk to you about that stuff. But because we're on the topic of suitability, it's not going away. We don't want to hide behind it, but we just want to make sure people are positioning this the right way. Hope that helps.
Hey, that's a great answer. I know I kind of put you on the spot there with that question, but I appreciate you tackling it for us. That being said, that brings us to the end of my questions. So I do want to thank everybody for taking the time for us. Mac, any parting words for the group?
Just listen. Thank you for your time, and Scott, again, a great partnership. I appreciate co-hosting these calls with you. I'll leave you with this, and I mentioned this once or twice throughout the webcast today. This is a unique product. It's not appropriate for everybody, but I think it's appropriate for a lot of folks. And what I would ask you to do is just run an illustration or have the folks at IAMS do that. I think you'll be very impressed with what this thing could potentially do for clients down the road for their income, longer term needs, or their legacy needs, certainly even immediately. So look at the illustration. I really believe that the illustration will help you close the business. And with that, again, I'll kick it to you, Scott, but thanks again for the time.
Hey, thank you, Mac. I know an hour out of your day right now is a whole lot to ask, so we really, really do appreciate it. And to everybody that took the hour for us here, we know that, 50, 60 minutes with us is 50, 60 minutes where you're not out selling or actively prospecting, so we do greatly appreciate it. Go out, have a great sales day, everyone, and I look forward to speaking with you all very, very soon. Thank you.